Alright, hey guys, it's Soulless Smith. There's a new DLC out for Rift called Dreamweaver, so I figure I go through it and see what it has to offer, and maybe show a couple people along the way. If you've never played Rift before, I definitely recommend it as a game, especially for an MMORPG. It's basically very similar to a lot of the other ones. I prefer Rift because it's more openly diverse to character customization and like changing up how you are as a person. Like, you don't just have to be a certain type of rogue or a certain type of archer. You can change it up a lot, which you'll see later on in some of the gameplay. It's really important that you notice that there's 4 primary classes, unlike most MMORPGs, which have 3, which is warrior, mage, and sometimes it's a rogue, sometimes it's a healer. This one has 4, but of course these all have subclasses. Now, as a rogue, we have a couple. There's quite a bit, actually, for Rogue. The Phase Walker is primarily defensive. Each class has a few of their own that everyone can play as, and then there's one like this one, which you must buy to play as, which I've heard are better, easier to play, more fun, but I prefer to play with the ones that are that are free, because I find them more fun. Face customization is huge. For those of you who are following the Elder Scrolls Online, or maybe you've been beta testing Elder Scrolls Online, you've noticed that inside character customization, it's very similar to this now. They have more of the triangle for the face. Elder Scrolls Online is a bit different. Instead of like squares and triangles and circles, they have like descriptive. So it's definitely more customizable in general. The things that you're seeing right now are mostly like primarily elf, because I'm playing as an elf class. We see all of the elf available upgrades. They're not always the same for every single like race. Humans and dwarves are different. The one thing I do have to complain about is there's a very limited hair selection. So during gameplay, you're going to see a lot of people with the exact same hair, especially this one right here. It's very common. I'm just going to use it because it's similar to my hair, or as similar as you can get, really. Here, let's see if my name is taken. Won't be surprised. Oh, look, it's not. That's awesome.
The king of Mythosia would have sacrificed the world to Regulos the Destroyer. The faithful rebelled against his heresy. We overthrew the tyrant and put his armies to the sword. Defeated in battle, he turned to the machines of the Defiance. Their devices drew upon the power of the dragon, a power they could not control. This is the day the rifts came. This is the day we died. But the gods of the Vigil intervened. their messengers went among the fallen, and ascended the worthy, not for their virtue, but for their might! In you, they placed their faith, their hope, and their power. You are our salvation. You are a guardian.
I hope you guys enjoyed that little cutscene there. I didn't want to interrupt it for those of you who are new to this game.
Use the WASD keys.
It's pretty much pretty stereotypical. I like the storyline though. It's pretty neat. If you ask me, it's a different setting that storyline than I've ever heard. But you know, maybe there are some of you out here who have played different. I haven't played any MMORPGs in quite a while, but the Rift being one of my most recent ones, I don't remember ever having having a storyline similar to this.
You can customize your keyboard to
Controls are pretty much simple. As a rogue, I have a bow and arrow and daggers, so I can switch weapons, I believe. It's been a while since I played as a rogue. Like I said, there's a lot of keys. Cool thing about Rift, there is 6 more if you purchase the full version of the game, which that is, the full version of the game does not guarantee you excess gameplay, but similar to allowing you more of a class, it just gives you more selection. But you are able to play the entire game without purchasing it. But as a free member, you have 6 bars of hotkeys, which is good, because by the time you get a high enough level, you're going to have lots of skill. Well, that's what I'm told anyway. There we go, Z is to switch weapons. Now, I'll try and keep my talking to a minimum, unless it's at a less climactic scene. For now, it's probably important that you listen to the storyline.
You were meant to be here. You are our salvation.
Weird thing here is there's something above my head. I've never really understood what that was. I've played this multiple times. I never really understand what that's for.
We are the means for the Vigil to redeem Talara. May you live 1,000 years.
I think I'm gonna play primarily bow on this class. But, you know, let's just see how it works out. Oh, look at that, I have a fire. I don't... Switch weapons. I'm having trouble doing that. Switch. There we go. The skulls on my HUD right there, which can also be seen up here, are your, like, I'm trying to think of the word for it. It's kind of like an addition, like if you get all 5 of them and then you launch a critical skill, which is, it's called a finisher. The more of those, like, skulls that you have, which is the more, like, attack that you've done, and then you use a finisher, the more damage that the finisher does. It's mainly meant for, like, you're getting near the end of the battle and you have a lot of critical, so then you can launch one of those and finish them off quickly. The irony inside this is I'm using fire to kill Ashen Defilers. Oh, I just missed that. That guy is awful if you're gonna miss with a spell. I thought that he wasn't that far away to hit it. Some of you may be noticing that this is
Right-click a hostile target.
similar to World of Warcraft or maybe some other games. It is very similar, but it's also different in its own way. Once I level up, you'll be able to see why it's more different, and it's something that I really enjoy inside this game. You're not seeing very many people here because I chose a low population server. I wasn't really feeling like dealing with other people during my quests. Maybe later I could get some friends online that could chill with me. I have a couple that play Rift with me, but we'll see. For now, it'll just be me. Hope that's okay.
The gods have granted me sight without sight.
Alright, now see, that was my level up.
Do not despair. Your faith will reach
See,
this world.
you get soul points every single time you level up. Now, you could automatically spend your soul points, which is what the game would want you to do. Sorry about that, I accidentally pressed space. If you press N, it opens up your soul tree, as you can see up here. See, depending on which class that we chose at the very beginning, after we chose Rogue, and then like it showed us a bunch of subclasses, depending on that one, it will give you 3 of these. Similar. I have Marksman because I use a bow and arrow. Nightblade, which is what I chose, and then also Riftstalker, which was close. Now all of these are different. This one is offensive, this one is defensive, and this one, of course, is with a bow and arrow. Some of the other ones that I've encountered are like Hunter, Trapper, which are for people who have like pets. I don't think, since I'm an archer now, that I can get a pet because I don't have Hunter. But you have choices. If you can either follow what they want you to do, which I've never done before, so I could do that. But or you could just choose your own. See, as it says whenever I put my mouse over it, not recommended for your purpose. This is my purpose. Now, I guess I'll just follow along with it. So just hit spend all, and it auto spend it for you. It also, see, along with giving you, whenever you upgrade these, you do get a sub. But also, the more points you spend inside this tree overall, down here at the bottom, they show you skills you can earn like that. So I just unlocked Blazing Strike, which sounds pretty neat. It's a finisher. Like I said, it's one of those that does more damage if you have 5 of these criticals, like I did. I'll explain this for you guys. Alright, once I get them down to half health, let's see what happens. It did quite a bit of damage. I don't know, I've always really been more of a dagger kind of guy than a bow, but we'll see how this works out. I mean, if you are going to play this game, which I do recommend, it's smarter to, instead of like building up like 1 or 2 of the critical skulls, build up all 5 first, because not only will that make your attack do more damage, but it ends up bringing them down to the health low enough that you can actually finish them with the finisher. Cool thing about this game as well, I just thought I'd mention this, there's more than one way to collect quests. As you can see, collect Imbued Sword is my quest. It doesn't say how I have to do it. But on my map, and also in person, as you can tell, this guy's name is yellow, compared to, so they're all yellow right now because they all have a chance of dropping the sword. But that's the primary way to get it. But as you can see, I just gathered one from this poor sod. I just pulled it out of his body, and I still got it, the sword. So all quests are like that. It's very open world. I mean, as long as you can hold your own inside the open world. There's never really any like babysitting inside this game. They don't tell you exactly how to do it. unless you're one of those guys who like sits and reads the entire quest where it tells you like explicit directions how to get halfway to Hammerfell, which I'll tell you now, I'm not. I kind of skip the quests. I've only been keeping them open long enough so some of my viewers can read it. If that's how you roll, then that's how you roll, but that's just not me. So, cool thing about this is it just shows me on my map and I find my own way there, which I think is kind of neat. It gives me more of a dependent feel, like kind of like the game trusts me to do what I want. What is this? Oh, I don't need that.
Do not give in to hate.
Oh, look at that. Like, free stuff. Who doesn't love free stuff, right? More soul spawns spent. See, they just automatically spent them for me since I hit spend. It automatically put those inside here, and they also did this, which is what they wanted me to do. So I'm just doing what they want me to. It's not really a big deal to me. Alright, I just got a new bow and a new sword. What is this? Alright. I'm gonna sell the pitted stuff that I just got. And also the stuff that I just got rid of.
Always a
I
pleasure.
prefer to keep my inventory quite empty. What's this? Nope, don't care. Why is there a defiant infiltrator? Oh, in case you hadn't noticed, at the very beginning of the game, there is, of course, a primary battle between two factions, similar to most MMORPGs. These two factions go by the Defiants and the Guardians. If you're paying any attention during the short cutscene that I played, the Defiants are more reliant on technology and a bit faster to act. But the Guardians also have their flaws. I mean, they kind of have it pit that no matter what faction you choose as, it kind of puts this bad taste in your mouth for mind blank. For the faction opposite of the Guardians, Jesus, I can't even remember. But anyway, not the point. Because of that, though, most people prefer to play as Guardians. I choose Guardians just because I prefer the storyline. I never really got very far into the other one. I haven't really gotten very far into any of the storylines because every single time that I played, I would get too into it, and then something always came up. Like last time, I got pretty far. The spring break came, and I had to go work instead, and I went out of state, and I wasn't able to play. But hopefully this time I'll be able to last a little bit longer, so you guys can see further into the storyline. Defiance, that's who they are. It's a good thing I'm just gonna warn you guys now, I have a complete awful memory. It's not something I'm proud of, but I like to alert people around me so that they don't feel bad. I'm really bad at remembering things. I don't know if anyone else, I mean, I know people out there have that problem, but if anybody out there who's watching this has that problem, then I totally feel your pain because it sucks. I mean, you definitely do not get a lot of kudos from the ladies for forgetting their birthday. But then again, I can't remember my own. Now, I believe that both the Guardians and the Defiants, they're champions, which we are the champions, by the way, the ones that were resurrected. I believe that they're both called Ascended. That it doesn't matter what faction you are, but you are called that. And I also believe they have a common purpose. Not getting far enough into that, I don't remember the purpose. As you can see, there were dragons, which I have fought one dragon. And then there's also the problem, of course, of all the faction war, which you need to deal with. I chose a non-PvP server because all the PvP servers had a high population, and like I said earlier, I didn't want to deal with that. But PvP is quite interesting inside this game because everyone has like a variety of skills, since nobody's just a ranger or just a rogue. It definitely helps to have a teammate because later on inside the game you'll realize that this game is called Rift because the main objective is to deal with rifts, which are like tears inside of the how do you explain it? They're tears inside of the like dimension that opens up and lets in some of the monsters that you'll see earlier or later. They're very difficult, but with a couple teammates around, you can even handle a rift that's more than 20 times your level. Not 20 times, 20 plus your level. If I'm not a rogue, I'm normally a cleric, because clerics are incredibly useful inside this game. Unlike most games, even if you don't have a teammate with you, cleric will be useful. As in the rift situation, many people are losing health quickly, and it's essential that clerics are there. As a rogue, this is why it's important to keep your bow. You're not really going to be very important inside rifts unless you have the bow, and so you need to stay back and deal with the enemies from afar. There's honestly no chance of you dealing like any serious damage inside of a rift like 20 or like 20 plus your level unless you have the bow with, of course, decent like skills on it. Well, that failed because there's a tree in my way. Storyline gets kind of confusing during this part because it's a war zone, and war zones are confusing. Sometimes I don't understand why some people are so tall, unlike some other players. If it's kind of hard to pay attention, so I'll try and fill you in on it. Well, as we go, of course. I don't want to ruin anything that I haven't already ruined.
Looking for something? Until next time.
So right now I just have to kill deathbound things. That's a rift, the thing that my mouse is pointing at. Unfortunately, we do not have to deal with that yet, which is, I say unfortunately, but it's probably good because I know that I could not handle a rift anywhere. I could never handle a rift right now. But there you have it. That's a death rift. There's multiple kinds of rifts. Now, I would handle these guys, but they're level 6 and I'm level 4. But after I complete my quest, I can deal with them. For now, let's deal with the people that I'm supposed to. That'll help level me up. Right now, it kind of looks very stereotypical. This game, when you get into it, is incredibly great for its storyline. But right now, it's incredibly stereotypical. You're fighting people with skulls as faces. Definitely not exactly the most exciting. But once you get out of this part, and you get onto the part where we can start dealing with rifts, and we start like handling much more stranger enemies, then we get to do some fun stuff. See if I can hit this guy with my bow. Yeah, my bow is pretty much underpowered compared to my daggers because of the skills that I've been using. But that's fine with me. I wasn't really trying to level up my bow. I mean, at first I was, and then I realized that my class only had the bow because all rogues need to have the bow. The irony inside the rogue is most rogues are... Rogue is supposed to mean the term that they're independent and that they're on their own. Similar to like superheroes who don't want sidekicks. But rogues are a lightweight, and as a rogue, I can say this clearly, we have a bit more trouble like handling the bigger things by ourselves. So instead of being rogue, we actually have to have help to take down most of the stuff. Good thing about this game, to me, is the rogue class is kind of not powered, but it's overestimated. Like, they definitely made the rogue a lot more powerful than most MMOs do. They made it just about as powerful as the rest of the classes, which makes it fair, of course, but it also takes out the reason why people chose rogues. Now people can run fast and be more maneuverable and still have the power of like a warrior, which I think is a bit unfair, but I'm not really complaining. Alright. Got another bag. Oh, gloves. Cool beans. There are a lot of gods inside of the world of Rift. I've never really followed how many there were, but there are quite a lot. That was a divine, by the way, the person that just teleported me. I ended up here, which is up from where I used to be. That rift that I was showing you is somewhere around here. But you should probably hear this. I don't have subtitles on, so you'll need to be able to hear what I'm doing. Seems I remember to turn on subtitles, which is good. This guy's... I guess he was also a divine, but he's very weak because I almost took him out. He just stunned me, and now he's retreating. Blah, blah, blah. But, there's that rift that I was showing you. And, you can't really see much because I have my graphics down so that I don't lag while I record. I figured that was for the best for you guys because I know how much it sucks trying to watch laggy gameplay. This is not a skill, by the way. This happens once that I know of. And, it's just the divines, how they transport you.
Glory and honor. Find your destiny.
I don't like the beginning, like I said, because it's a lot of just go do this, go do this. Not great. But once you get, I can't wait to get out of this. Further on inside the storyline, it's actually just a little bit farther from here. So much more happens, and instead of go to this, go to this, it's hey, can you go over here and do this on your way to do this? And I definitely spend more time with rifts than with like with doing missions, because rifts can provide incredible XP. Like I said, there are multiple ways to complete a mission. A lot of players of Rift know this now, but beforehand, a lot of people didn't, like when the first game launched. This horse right here that you're claiming, that you bring back, you can actually ride in, but like they don't tell you that. And so like you're just like, oh, can I use it? So he says, at last we come to the end, this is what the vigil, blah blah blah. He says, go to the Eye of Regulus and slay the king to sever Regulus' grip. Regulus is the evil demon. You'll see him in a minute. Of course we accept this. Now, when after that, if you talk to him, he'll actually give you the horse to ride. And then he's like, you can have the horse. And then you ride it into battle. And that's good. Alright. So, horse armor. Makes it look like a unicorn. You can stab people. I don't know if you can actually stab people. But, nope, you can't. So this is where I'm headed. You think I can sprint on it? No, I probably can't. This is about the first mount you get into the game. It's not really anything important. The Vigils grant me power. So, I mean, I could have handled all those guys clear. This is the Rift. Ooh, I should probably get off the horse. Get off the horse. No, it's alright. Looks like I'm gonna have to kill this level 6. Blah 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 blah. So, different rifts have like different requirements. This one says disable the pillars. There's 2 of them, so I'm gonna have to do that. I don't know where I just got the hammer. So that's one. This rift is extremely boring because, of course, you're only level 6 in the game. The game makers did not want you to be overpowered this far into the game. So, of course, after we get into the real game, because this is just a demo, rifts become much more extreme.
What is this? Did I not slay you before?
Now I just got some backup.
Brought us back to destroy you, tyrant. Your gods cannot stand against the dragon of extinction. Recluse, I give my life to you, from which springs power eternal.
That's the king who went to the Defiance to summon the dragons. He's now sacrificing himself to summon Regulus. And that, of course, is Regulus.
In life I ruled Methusia, but with Regulus I shall rule all of creation.
You are insane, brother! I will end this if you cannot!
Carwin, my bastard brother, you will address me as Regulus, or not at all.
No!
Regulus hungers for your souls. You will fall before me.
Okay, like I said, this is all about teamwork. I obviously cannot handle the god Regulus. So I'm gonna handle the Vile Drake. Man, he's got a shield that's absorbing all of his damage. Looks like he got healed by Regulus, bummer. Alright. Oh. Okay. He's coming after me. That's a big thing. Whichever player is doing the most damage to a creature is who he goes after. So I'm just gonna throw some fire at people.
Elite enemies are much equipment enhances your character's statistics. Increases ahead.
He's of course coming after me because I'm doing the most damage. So I guess I should probably stand and fight now. Of course this is just a shade, or else so of course I could handle that.
Guardian of the Vigil, your sacrifice has saved Telara from destruction. But the world is still in peril. See now, through prophetic eyes. The brood stirs. The ward falls. And Utopia is undone. Well, this prophecy of the rifts. We have chosen you as an instrument to prevent the coming apocalypse. Go with the grace of the Vigil.
Okay guys, that's the end of my first video. Hope you catch me back next video, and hopefully you'll get to see me do some cool stuff instead of just the boring quest-to-quest action. See you next time. Out.